All right, let's call to order the Board of Supervisors work session to discuss upcoming agenda items. Which one am I on? Oh, wrong one. Today is Thursday, August 14th. We're meeting in the hearing room on Melville Lane in Bisbee. Order deletion of any items on this agenda is subject to modification at the meeting, and any item listed is open for discussion. Please note that some attachments may be updated after the agenda is published, meaning presentation materials displayed at the board may differ slightly from attached versions. Members of the Cochise County Board of Supervisors will attend either in person or by remote conferencing. Members of the public may also attend this meeting via Microsoft Teams or the mobile app. Work sessions are a time for county staff to inform and discuss agenda items with the Board of Supervisors, and public comment will not be taken. We'll begin with a roll call. District 1, District 2,
Gomez.
and District 3. Antonori is here. All supervisors are present in person, and we will go to Ms. Gilman to kick us off.
Thank you, Chairman Antonori. Supervisors, good morning. Today we're going to look at the meetings we have for next week. We start off on Monday morning at 10 a.m. with the tax rates and levies approval. So there will be attached to this agenda item when it's posted the full worksheet of all the tax rates and levies for the county. This includes all the special districts, community college, school districts, et cetera, as well as the county. So the only entity that the county board of supervisors can have any jurisdiction over changing are, of course, the county's primary property tax rate, library district, flood control district, and those light improvement districts.
Not Cochise College?
Not you. This is on that front. It's an administrative function for the board to receive these tax rates and levies, and then we consolidate into one to send on to the Arizona Department of Revenue, who then sends it to the Property Tax Oversight Commission for compliance with state law.
So we'll get that schedule when the public gets it?
Yes, it'll be posted tomorrow, yes, with
Okay.
the item, but if you'd like it sooner, we can.
Yeah, I mean, anything you can give, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong or maybe nobody else agrees with me, my compadres here, but I'd like to get it as,
A little sooner
than,
with the agenda.
yeah.
How much
And
is
that-
going to change from what we had in the draft?
Because this isn't the budget, so this I don't think you've seen before. So I think we have it pretty much done. I can send it to you after this meeting separately.
Then when it comes to a vote, we can remove the county portion if I want to.
You can make that motion.
Yeah, instead of a consent.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No,
And
because
it's a public
represents
hearing.
like, what, a couple hundred or something like that at the same time? A couple
Right.
hundred districts, including.
Yeah, it's all.
Including, flood control district in the county.
Special districts too.
We should,
Right.
But you're just received. You can't change those. You don't have.
yeah, the ones we can change should be broken out.
Yeah.
And we should break out the ones that we have the ability to change the
You
rates
would
on.
like it as 2 agenda items?
Yeah, so the ones that are quasi-ministerial have that as one list, and then the ones that, if we want to have that discussion on rate changes that we can change the rates on, we should have those separate.
Okay, we'll talk about it. We can place that on the agenda.
We can just pull it out in the
In the
meeting if we have to. Either way, it would be just, and I think it would be better for the public.
Yeah.
And I know where you're going, so that we could say, this is the world we can change, and this is the world that you voters need to go deal with these individuals that raised your taxes over here.
Exactly.
That was kind of what I think my colleague was getting at, was a clear demarcation between the world the Board of Supervisors can affect change on, and then that other world that the voters need to go talk to other people to affect change.
Okay.
And we
Fair
can refer to the pie charts.
Right.
It's the real amounts. Shouldn't have to pay for college. Cochise College, they don't get any services. Anyway.
Anyway,
So we'll talk about, we may make some adjustments then to this draft
Okay.
if we need to, but I'll send that attached
I
exhibit.
mean, in the
today.
future, and I think, we're going to have discussions more, especially on the flood district stuff and what's going on. So I think we need to make sure those are separate. That's going to be an area we got to look at. So
But this
I
is,
mean, 'cause
they're all
Joe's
on
got,
one agenda item.
you guys have been, Joe's, I don't know, if have you talked to these guys about it? The concepts of, trying to,
I know that Ms. Gomez has been briefly talked about it.
Right, but-
I've talked to Mr. Crosby about
right,
it.
so
Specifically, because we briefly talked about a lot of things.
he's going to be
So
rolling
about
out.
the Gabion
Yeah.
project.
Right, so he's going to be rolling out some modifications regarding flood control,
Good.
some concepts that we have to review and approve and start
Yeah.
working on. So,
Yeah.
and we're getting away from the concrete monument flood control programs to start actually doing stuff that's going to, in my opinion, better affect recharge potential for some of the aquifers and stuff. So that's kind of, Joe's been working that with Miss Watkins and Fazio
And legal, we've been going.
and legal. Yeah, because there's public-private partnerships there that, and again, I've talked to several ranchers who are willing to allow the county to go on their property or to provide the materials for them to build certain things in exchange for having the county engineer kind of give them the design, to build, so they don't just build weird stuff out there, that they're doing it with, they have to, certain criteria they have to follow. So all those aspects have to be put up, but it won't work unless we could do some of it on private land. And then some of it also on BLM and Forest Service land. And I already talked to Siskamani about it. He's okay with it. He's going to hook us up with the Forest Service guys to have that discussion. And they're all probably going to be on board with it as well, because some of those washes go.
And I'd like to just talk like when we were given permission, Douglas to go on private land, and then they said, well, we can't spend HERF money on that. But I know there's other money in the budget. We should be, if the people say, yes, please come onto my land and help us out so we don't get flooded on it. I still think that 23rd Street, the problem was created by the county, the bump. I still haven't gotten a good explanation on what happened, right? So
I'd like
We
to
need-
check that one after this meeting. I went down there
Okay.
yesterday and looked at it, but there's
Okay.
a lot of details behind that
I know.
and legalities we got
Yeah,
to.
I got you. That's another, that's a whole
it's a big deal.
big deal. Like, we're talking 2 hours.
Yeah.
For that discussion, for a work session, whenever that comes up. But back to the rate stuff. Again, yeah, the stuff that we can modify, because we did it kind of pseudo quasi in that
You
budget.
did, you gave us direction regarding what you wanted the rate to be.
Right. But I mean, I think in the future, having that clear demarcation, again, back to Ms. Gomez's point, and Mr. Crosby and I both want to look at other aspects of truth in taxation stuff, so that we kind of try to keep the tax growth flat as possible, even though it may grow. In truth in taxation, we want to say you're not getting a tax increase, if we can do that.
Mr. Chair, I think that's an excellent idea. And to put that out in the public, we are not raising everybody's taxes.
Right.
So if your property taxes go up, it's the other people.
Yep.
Right.
And-
So,
Yeah, we can split that up.
all right.
Then we have, following the tax rates and levies meeting at 11, we'll have a meeting on, a work session rather, on the discussion about the health and detention medical director position. This is the position that's out for request for supplier qualifications right now, so it's an
This is
open
the
for
medical director for the county?
for the health department and the detention, yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanted to present to the board, because that's out for bid, and eventually a contract will come before the board for further approval. We wanted to have a work session to make sure the board is aware of all that position entails and the full scope of it.
How did it change from what it was before?
No change, just putting out the statutes and informing the board so that when that contract comes up, we have you more informed than perhaps you would be without that work session.
And you're going to talk about, we were being charged 43,000. What was it? By the medical director?
Right, and the price was going to go up. He has since given us his 30-day notice to end the contract, so that's why we're out for our RFQ.
Okay.
Okay.
And so what do you expect the salary to be up to?
That's part of the,
They put in a bid.
Yeah.
Right, so it'll be several, hopefully, interested physicians.
And it was very interesting because one of the people that you recommended is one of a very good friend of my ex.
Is what?
Very good friend of my ex-husband.
Oh, your ex-husband? Oh.
But to be clear,
Pretty small.
the RFSU has that's
No
right. I'm
nepotism,
like, there's
yeah.
no favoritism being
No.
shown.
No, but let the competitive process prevail,
Yes, right.
right? So, but we're going to look at several potential submissions and then selecting somebody.
Yeah. So the staff will be
Salary.
reviewing the applications and scoring those qualifications and then negotiating the price with the individual that's the highest ranked. And then we'll bring that contract to the board.
And how many people do you have?
I don't know.
You don't know yet?
You haven't put it out, right?
It's out.
Oh, it is out.
Yeah. Sometimes people wait till the last day.
I hope you
That's what I always do. I always submit my proposal on the last day. I really do.
Oh.
You want every minute you can, but continue to refine it and get it to where it needs to be before it goes in.
When is the close?
That's why they have deadlines.
I believe it's the 22nd.
22nd of August.
So we'll have that work session, so the board will be more aware, but when that contract comes to you of the scope of the position. Then on Tuesday, moving on to Tuesday, we have our library, which is the consent item, and flood control district is consent item. And then on the jail district, we have consent, of course, but then as mentioned prior in other meetings, the contract for Vanner Construction Management as the owner representative for services for the county jail project, that will be up for the board's review and approval. That is, we have Phil Bernone on Teams. If you would like to ask questions about that, the primary thing to understand about this is this $385,000 is for services up to November.
And that's just to do the scoping and start developing the requirements for the RFP. Is that what she's doing?
Yes. So Phil, are you on? Yes.
Yes, I am. Chairman, members of the board. Obviously, that does include, I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, my apologies. I want to make sure since I'm remote, I can be heard. It includes several aspects, but getting you through the point through November, December to make sure you're ready to move forward with your design and construction activities. So it would include the development and implementation of RFPs for those services. There were several other things that were included in the 90-day action plan that Veneer went over at your previous meeting, and those might also be functions that they would be including. But in general, it would be for the pre-planning services that you need to move forward with to continue your design process.
Okay. Thanks, Phil.
And I can also send you that contract today, so you have more time to look at it if you like. Then on the Board of Supervisors regular meeting agenda, we have the standard consent items and a few additional, mostly related to grants and funds that we get, recurring funds and different organizations. Yeah.
So on the engineering, naturally, on number 2, the transfer of the deeded property, is that to, is whose district is that in?
Which one are we looking at?
Are we looking at number 2? Is that
Jackie?
Which item? I have 2 items. Which one is that?
2?
Tax deeded property.
That is for the right-of-way that we're doing on Davis Road.
Is that the one where you turn in from one?
You're right, correct. And one of the property owners wanted to exchange a tax deed parcel that we have for the right-of-way on Davis, and so we're doing that. And so put that tax deed parcel into the engineering. To do that, we need to.
So that dealing with that law.
Correct. That's the project. We were unsuccessful with the grant, so we're still trying to go grants for the construction of that. But this is the last parcel that we have for the right-of-way.
Oh. And then on this, well, maybe this is not the public hearing date, right? I've got a lot of concerned constituents in the James, actually, I guess I sent it to you, on the James Ranch Road, just wanting to understand, how they're going to have access, there was like 6 or 7 questions. I sent it to you, Joe. And so that public hearing, they would be able to find answers to the questions if we don't give it to them sooner, right?
Yeah, we'd like to give, so James Ranch Road is not a declared county highway for us to actually do construction. And we're trying to acquire the right-of-way now. And so to have a public hearing, and this is to set the date for the public hearing, then we'll have the public hearing, and then right after the public hearing, the resolution to accept it as a declared county highway, so that once it's finished design, we can actually construct the road. But access, we will be meeting with the property owners on access. We'll have 60% design plans the middle of September. Then we would get hold of once it's declared county highway, we can then talk to all the residents that are out
So
there.
that's how the time resolution to have it be a county road, because it's not right now. And then any of the questions that they have, whether it's payment or access or their well or whatever it is, would be answered after.
Well, we can answer those now because the NEPA clearance is completed.
Okay.
Yeah, we
so
couldn't answer that before March, but yes.
I can forward that to you, and anybody else who may not know the questions they need, that they find out about it, because it's still amazing. A lot of people don't know. Could go to that public hearing and have their questions answered.
Well, public hearing, they don't really always answer questions, but they contact me and I can answer the questions, yes.
Thanks.
Ms. Watkins, do you have, you got the email that I
Yes.
sent and copied to several people. Would you give us a review of that email that I sent to you and the parties involved and the access to James Ranch Road, since I couldn't send it to my colleagues?
James Ranch Road, we're having 2 major access points on it. Coming to south of Highway 80, about a quarter mile north of the new port of entry. There's an existing road that's called Puzzy Ranch. That's not really a road, but that has gas lines in it, so we can't have an access point there. But to get traffic circulation, so what we're trying to do is get traffic circulation for the whole area, not just specifically for all the development that's going to be on James Ranch Road. We want to look at the whole area, and we want a connection between James Ranch Road and Kings Highway. So we're asking for an east-west connection from James Ranch Road to Kings Highway for the circulation for the development of all the commercial development that's going to go there. And in that email, that one property owner would prefer to have the connection just north of, or the north line of the new port of entry. But at that location, we're going to have 11 box culverts. So that won't work because of the drainage. There's 3 major drainage channels that go through the James Ranch Road. And so we're putting the access points to accommodate all the drainage that's on the road that's
So
crossing it.
Did you understand that the applicant that wants to build a truck stop, and he had the additional property to the
South.
immediately southeast, and he did not want he pulled his application the last time we had a meeting about that because he was displeased with the proposed road going across the north end of his property, and that's what I haven't given to my colleagues. Can you give us a review about that? Get a picture of this.
That is because of the drainage that we have going through the area. That's the best location to accommodate with what that property is doing and what the Ardent property is doing that's already been rezoned. So we're looking at the whole circulation, not specifically one parcel owner. So we're looking for the circulation for the complete area to accommodate that as a master plan.
So his beef was that this proposal for the road was not before the Planning and Zoning Commission when they approved it, and it got added late.
It was on the draft. It was in the packet for it, and it's in, it was in the packet. Christine had answered your email. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Yes, but that was shown. The right-of-way, all the drainage easements, and the east-west connection was shown on the attachment when that went to Planning and Zoning Commission.
you know, this is part, I mean, I know we're doing a lot of work sessions, but I don't know how else to do the deep dive of, can we have something, or I don't know if my peers there want to be involved, but I really want to get an understanding of what the zoning and what the drainage and what the engineering and what the roads and all that is, because I'm not getting, not from you, but from other aspects, I'm not really getting the information. I really want to have a good understanding of what we're doing in planning zoning, what we're doing with roads, who's involved, you know, I mean, who's, that whole economic kind of kickstart for the port of entry. So,
I'm trying to get an idea of what we're talking about here. So I got Kings Highway and then Kings Ranch, or not Kings Ranch, James Ranch, James Ranch. And so what are you going to, you're trying to connect those two roads? Well, then there's that little pizza or whatever, Poozy Road. Is that where?
Puzzy Road is not really a road. It's named as a road, but it's not a road that has any addresses on it in this section between Kings Highway and James Ranch. But there is Kinder Morgan pipeline there, gas lines, some of their major lines. So it's cost prohibitive for us to use that as an east-west
They can
connection.
tear it up.
Well, they have prior rights, so we would have to pay the cost of, or someone would have to pay the cost of relocating their lines. And those are lines that are going to Mexico. I mean, those are
Yeah, I
major
got you.
transmission lines.
I could see them.
And I do have
on the
map here.
Would you like us to move this from consent to an action item so that the board can have a discussion about it?
You're talking about the same thing that
No, just the, right.
And I do have maps that show all the drainage if you want to.
I saw some of that stuff with.
This is fine getting the education now.
Flood controls.
Yeah, 'cause this is the drainage on it.
Obviously, you have disgruntled.
Property owners, right, right.
So,
We're setting a public hearing. anyway.
But this is just a public hearing
Yeah. Yeah.
for the dedication or for the declaration of James Ranch Road as a county road. It's not setting anything for the east-west connection, but we do with Christine, because she, you know, I'm more of the transportation and she does the development. And we're trying to do it for the whole area. What's the best for the whole economic development of the complete area for the port of entry?
you guys are doing it together, right?
Yes, and with the city of Douglas, because eventually we anticipate this to be annexed by the city. So we don't want to do anything that the city doesn't.
I'm sorry. City of Douglas, they don't do a good job. They just want to annex, but they don't have any plan of how they're doing it. So I don't want the county to miss out on being a part at the table, talking what this whole area is going to be, because it's county and it's city.
Yeah, no, and we're talking with ADOT also on that, on traffic circulation with what's happening on 80. But we had a meeting yesterday, and we will be meeting with them probably again next week.
Thank you for meeting with the Douglas City Engineer too.
I'm meeting with him tomorrow, correct?
We'll leave it on since it's just setting.
It's just in the public hearing. Then there will be a public hearing, and we can have more of this information at the public hearing. Okay.
Yeah, Ms. Watkins, could you at your convenience tell me the date or send me the video, tell me the date of the P&Z commission meeting where this business about the east-west.
Yeah, and that was in Christine's email to you too. It had the date that she had with what was attached to the packet that went to the commission. Okay.
All right, any other consent agenda items you guys want to hit on? I mean, we don't have to pull them off. I'm not asking to pull them off. I'm just if you want somebody that might be here, be able to talk to them. Man, those public defender guys are pretty cheap, man. $3,000. That's what, like 20 hours? And the lawyer, less than 20 hours of the lawyer. Is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's not a public defender. He is our defender.
These are public.
Okay, well, he's not a.
Where is he?
yeah.
All the way back.
Oh, there it is. Yes. Okay.
I don't see nothing else.
And similarly, and this, oh, sorry, the 12, Human Resources of Public Political Activity. Can you explain what that is?
Sure. Do you want to jump right to that? We can skip the adult and.
Which one did she jump into?
She jumped to number 12.
Hang on a
Yeah,
second.
go ahead.
So 2 million,
Adult probation funding. Sorry, we're.
Okay.
she threw you off. She
Sorry.
jumped a couple,
It's
that's
okay.
okay. So
My commute
you
wasn't
still-
bad at all.
We'll get you back in a second. So the adult probation funding this is an IGA basically? Is that what this is?
It's a funding agreement, yeah. So the Administrative Office of Boards provides this funding to Cochise County for adult probation and treats it.
So somebody's giving us a match and then we got to pay the 2 million to match it? Or
No. This is our annual funding from the AOC to support our state-run probation department. So the county does, like on adult probation, the AOC picks up about 56% and the county about 35%. There is, however, a maintenance of effort that was set at 2020 funding levels. So the county is required to fund us according to that.
whose 2 million bucks is this?
Adult probation.
From the Administrative Office of Boards. They're sending out.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
state
Mhm.
courts is sending 2 million bucks. What is there a match is what I'm getting at? Do we?
Not on this funding, no.
All right, so then what are we approving here? Just that you can spend the 2 million bucks?
That we're receiving.
All right.
Yeah, and it's an annual thing. We also have on the agenda for our juvenile probation department, it's the same.
11.
Maternal and Child Health Grant.
It's okay. All right. Now we can get number 12. Thank you.
Okay. So this is, I asked Human Resources to look into amending our policy on political activity to clarify the role of appointed officers.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Hatch acting,
Exactly.
similar to that.
That's what I was wondering. So-
I take over.
I check it.
Good morning. Honorable board members, there is a minimal amendment to this in paragraph 4. It's amended to ensure employees are fully aware of activities of which they should not engage. And it states no county employee within the appointed offices reporting to the Board of Supervisors shall engage with any legislative body outside of the knowledge of the Board of Supervisors.
Very good.
All such needs should be addressed with the county administrator for proper direction.
Perfect.
So the beauty of policies is it empowers our employees to know what to do and what not
Right.
to do.
That's
And so that is what this is intended to
all right.
do.
Thank you.
And then the next one is for smoking.
People are smoking.
Still smoking?
People are still smoking and people are actually vaping more.
Oh, is that what this is? Is this an update related to vaping?
Yes,
Okay.
it is to let folks know, not only are you not supposed to smoke within, certain parameters, you're not supposed to vape either. And so we do have had experiences where employees are vaping on the work site and they should not be.
You can
And,
go outside.
well, I'm talking about
Chew
even
gum.
individuals that their work site is outside, but they need to stay a certain distance away from doorways and be respectful of their colleagues. And
Yeah.
they can, but again, you are not permitted to do it in a county vehicle.
Mhm.
And keeping a certain distance away from a doorway so that the vape that is produced isn't seeping into the building, things like that. So it just provides our supervisors with some teeth when they say, don't do that. And so it may seem basic, but again, with policies, we help our employees understand what is acceptable and what is not.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, 14.
14 is similar to number 10 on the adult probation, but this is for juvenile probation. Same.
Same thing. Okay,
thing.
gotcha. It's not our money.
No.
Okay.
And then that's the short agenda for yes. And then the work session on the 19th, then following that meeting will be at 1 p.m. to discuss updates to the roads. So that's our roads work session that has been highly anticipated. If you've been individually briefed, and so now we'll come together.
So did Jane put anything out there to all the people about the county roads? Because I mean, I was trying to get something together to let them know that there is a work session, and then are we doing a public hearing
We'll do
after that?
that's after. Yeah.
Okay. So at least to let them know we're having it so they can listen. Sure. Is there any kind of
We can.
Yeah, maybe I'm going to try to look at my email list and send it to you guys, because I would like to develop, since we don't have any kind of a newsletter, we don't have any paper, we don't have really, we have QFM Live, but I think it'd be important to start building a email list of people who are concerned about specific issues like county roads, the Bisbee Affluent, Mexican Wolf, whatever, and just keep that so that when we do things, we can just send it out to them instead of them having to try to look for it on our website.
We read in Facebook.
No, actually, because I get so much stuff.
I was watching. There's a couple rants I saw about
what?
things happening and then people not knowing, and even though there were like 4 public meetings,
Exactly.
and then they find out.
And I don't know if the county website is just difficult for them to look for the link.
No,
I don't know.
nobody goes to the county website and look.
They want to be spoon-fed.
Yeah.
Well, like the Mexican Wolf, they were looking for the resolution of the sign. I don't know. I had so many people say, we couldn't find it. So is it that expensive, or is it that costly for us to develop these kind of, I used to do it back on the Hill. You have people who are specifically interested in one issue. You just build a little email list, and when you do stuff, you just send it to them. Even though it is spoon feeding, at the same time, a lot of people don't have internet connection, especially east of the Mule Mountains. And so it's difficult for them sometimes because it's in and out, their internet service. So if we could just send them an email, that helps them be, up to date and involved, I believe.
So I'll take a look and see. Technically, I don't think it'd be hard. It's the maintaining that list, getting people signed up for those lists.
Or I could just shoot
Because they
you.
have to opt in.
Yeah, but I could just shoot you who I know definitely would want to know.
Yeah, and then
right?
you could send them emails and say, hey, here's the link, go opt in,
Right. Yeah.
sign up to get emails.
Right.
But
Yeah, just for those, we could build those.
it's
Okay.
what you said. So things happen, and it's like, well, I didn't know about this. It's like, well, it was published, there was, and then of course they cry about the Sierra Vista Herald. No offense, Terry Joe, if you're listening, they cry about the Sierra Vista Herald. Nobody reads the Sierra Vista Herald, so by putting it in the Sierra Vista Herald, you're basically hiding it from us because we don't read the Herald. Nobody reads the Herald. So because you guys put it in the Herald doesn't mean you get off the hook, but it does mean we get off the hook because it's the paper of record in Cochise County. So by publishing it in the Sierra Vista Herald, we meet the
But
statutory
it's getting
requirement.
less and less now,
I know.
So I just think that somehow it's not cost burdening.
This
I
just
understand what you're saying.
irritates me because of
I
the
know.
individual responsibility world that I like to talk about. And if
But
you're,
when I look at the people in my district that don't get good internet service,
okay, all right.
and I'm telling you, even for my parents' home, I don't get good internet service.
I'm just saying that, it takes 2 seconds to click on see what's going on.
Some of these elderly people can't see too well either. I'm just saying that includes me. I can't see that well. So-
You're asking
But I
for a reasonable accommodation.
I'm asking for reasonable accountability of giving information out to a community that has really a lack of radio, newspaper.
I got you, but you're still asking them to be proactive, so they're going to have to go to
Yes.
the website. They're going to have to
Yes.
put their email in.
Yes, I'm
So
not
that-
going to feed it.
I
to
kind of like the idea because then you give them a, well,
them. I give them a little thing, and then
Yeah.
they got
They have to do their
they have to do their part too, yeah.
Just to also make I know Jane is working on reviving the newsletter.
Yeah.
And her first issue was going to be a review of the first 6 months
Oh, okay.
of the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah.
The activities. we've
Our
been doing.
accomplishments.
I know she's working on that, and so we can certainly follow.
And I'd love for her to put in there how many meetings we have a month,
Yeah,
you know, what we're averaging.
yeah, it's impressive.
All right. I got anything else on the agenda items? Mr. Crosby.
Yeah, 5. Flood control / sprinkler. And that was, at least the last time we were talking about having a meeting on flood control and sprinkler. And we have talked about flood control. We have not talked very much about the sprinkler and what we're going to say and do about the sprinkler. That's all.
Oh, so that's a future work session you're
Yeah.
waiting for?
Yeah,
Okay.
the next one is open meeting laws, which we have talked about a lot, and we have not gotten a review on that. We have
So we submitted a legislative fix to the Supervisors Association.
Okay.
Do you want to be involved in working with them? Because we got to go to the thing in October out in Yuma.
End of October.
And
I definitely have a list of things to explain why it's so difficult with open meeting law, like actual instances, you know.
do you want to go? Do you want to go to the? Are you going to that thing? in
Yeah,
October?
I am.
So you're going. You're going to be there. I'll be there. Are you going?
I will if it.
I think you should.
Well, it's just basically to lobby on our behalf to have CSA push this legislation to the legislature to amend the open meeting law.
Okay. Well, besides that, I think it would probably be beneficial to the board for me to present on this issue since I have been the target of many.
You've gained the experience of unfortunate interaction with the open meeting law.
So that's number 2.
So do you want to do that? Set up just a open meeting discussion with us on open meetings
Sure.
that we can then take to CSA in October?
Sure.
And then we can add Kathleen's comments and Tom's comments and build sort of our argument. And then I need the county attorney there, obviously, for that. Somebody, Mr. Crayer, yourself, or Mizuko.
Okay, so we're going to call it like an open meeting law legislative proposal discussion.
Key criteria that we would like to see in the legislation, right? Aspects. So we're going to need what I saw is you have the statute, and what I put in there was I provided the statute and the definition, right? If you go off the statute and the definition, we are actually in agreement with that. The problem is there's been court cases and sort of,
I call it the open meeting law kingdom.
right, you've had court cases and you've had various attorneys and attorneys general and county attorneys and in various jurisdictions within the state that have extrapolated on that. And then there's been guidance that's put out and ombudsman training.
And
And
even CSA.
yeah, there's been significant scope creep, I would argue, from what that base legislation was. So trying to reel that back in and define it clear so it says this is what the legislative intent was. This is what the voters or the constituencies of the state wanted. Let's go back to that and not have this extrapolation. That's what I think is what we're looking for. Because the original language is pretty clear.
Yeah.
You know, that you're not supposed to meet and pre-ordain something and then just go rubber stamp vote it in a regular meeting, right? That was really the intent of the open meeting. So.
We had a pretty long meeting with the health department people, and that's fine, but we didn't talk about past COVID stuff, money from the state, emergency authority or not, that had to do with COVID and whatever the next pandemic
Emergency.
Yeah. So I would like to.
Is it the vaccine one you wanted to have that work session? I think we were calling it vaccine on the calendar, so I think that's at the end of October.
That's fine too.
But it's just,
It's
it's just the future.
What's our policy going to be to implement through the health department
Yes.
and whichever doctor?
That's what it's called, vaccine policy.
So, for instance,
Well, it's more than just vaccine.
I think that's just what it is on the calendar.
Oh, okay, all right. Because it's, yeah, I
that's
mean,
fine. Me, generally, vaccine covers it. Because that's my concern, and not having experimental stuff which violates the Nuremberg Code.
Yeah.
And so I talked about the open meeting law kingdom, and so next was the economic development, which I know is near and dear to my called Ms. Gomez. And then I would like to know what happened to the minutes on the county website, because I see video, but I don't see minutes for months and months and months.
Oh,
So it looks like we're either behind, or if we don't mean to be behind, then we need to catch up. Because in my opinion, we have to have the minutes in writing for people that don't have other access. Yes, ma'am.
We'll have minutes that'll be approved on Tuesday, and those should be the only ones not posted.
Okay.
So
Thank you very
the
much.
last meeting
We should be
That's all.
caught up. So
until now.
Laura's saying we should be caught up on the website. So
Okay. Excellent. So, here.
so I you have any more?
No, sir.
That's it. I've gotten a couple inquiries regarding the recent, I think it was a Supreme Court opinion regarding row officers and their ability to bring lawsuits without approval of the Board of Supervisors. I think we need to have a discussion on that with who can bring lawsuits on behalf of the county, who can settle lawsuits or hire outside counsel or all that stuff, because that case has an impact, like Mr. Leindecker, for example, right, over that case. He came to us, presented this, and then got the permission of the board to go pursue that, because it is going to obligate county funds. It is going to result in potential attorney's fees and settlements and stuff. So that ruling, if I recall the way I read it, is that the Supreme Court affirmed that the only authority to do that is the Board of Supervisors in the county. So even though, let's just say, for example, the county treasurer, or not the county recorder, wants to sue Adrian Fontes over this new thing that just happened, right? Because I see the Pinal County recorder is going to do that, right? So say Mr. Cloud wants to jump on that lawsuit. Before he jumps on that lawsuit, which may cost this county money, he should probably come to the board to get approval, or anybody else. If the sheriff sues Homeland Security, like in the past, but not now. But I'm just saying, say he wanted to recover sheriff's costs for board security, and he wants to, the way I read that, before he can do that, or go hire a lawyer to do that, or jump on somebody else's lawsuit, he would need approval of the Board of Supervisors. Even though he's a separately elected officer, the way I read it, the way I think I read it, is that it is still putting the county, if it has any connection, put the county on the hook for any kind of money, that the Board of Supervisors is supposed to approve it before going forward.
I would say you're going to need more interaction with the county attorney's office.
That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at. So having a work session with the county attorney's office to talk to us about the way you guys see that opinion that came out of the Supreme Court regarding, I think it was a Maricopa County Sheriff versus Maricopa County Board of Supervisors. Is that the case? Actually, I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember which.
I think it was a sheriff versus Board of Supervisors case.
It was the sheriff versus board, but I can't remember the count.
Yeah. So just for clarification, are you also, and sometimes we're asked to do like amicus briefs, but that doesn't have anything to do with an amicus brief. It would be
Right.
like on law only, but doesn't have any.
That's a different, I think
economic-
that's different. That didn't apply. This specifically applied to the county sheriff pursuing a
It
lawsuit
had money involved.
that involved money that, and it was basically what the court said was, even though he may file this suit, if he loses and has to pay, then the Board of Supervisors has to approve the money to pay for the lawsuit. So therefore, before he's going out and doing this lawsuit, he has to get the approval in advance from the board, because it's going to cost the county money. Taxpayers are going to pay for it. So that was the way I read it. And it ultimately said what was really the one thing: we are all, the three of us, are on the hook for any row officer going out and doing lawsuits. We still have to pay. So that was why they made that ruling. They did say that this was involving a sheriff's deputy. Now I remember it was. It was a sheriff's deputy that got in an accident. What is it?
Sanchez was.
Right, that's what it was. So it was a liability aspect. And then ultimately the sheriff was allowed, if he had gotten permission from the board, to go sue or be involved in the suit. But ultimately the Board of Supervisors had to pay the bill. So because of that, and that's, the court did say, no matter what, the Board of Supervisors has to pay the bill. So, but it also said that they don't have carte blanche to go file lawsuits and challenge lawsuits and settle lawsuits without the board approval. So that was I need clarification on that. That's what I'm getting at. I need to know what our row officers can and can't do, what we can and can't do, and what the rules are going to be regarding somebody in this county filing or defending lawsuits.
I've got it on here to talk to Paul about.
Yeah, we need to get clarification on that.
Mr. Chair, I agree wholeheartedly, and you may recall that I mentioned lines of demarcation, which I am in favor of. I'm in favor of lines of demarcation whenever possible and less overlap. And so along those lines that the chairman was talking about, you got Arpaio versus his board of supervisors. And what was the name of his county attorney at the time? I can't remember.
Montgomery.
No, well, maybe, but that's not who I'm thinking of.
Oh.
And then I'll send you some more on that. But that
It's just I think now that ruling
we're
came
there.
out, yeah, now that, so I use the example like
came to the
Mr.
right place.
like Mr. Leindecker, right? I think that was the proper process. Mr. Leindecker said, I don't like this ruling. So he comes to the board and he says, I'd like permission from the board to appeal this and go forward. And we were told, hey, this could cost more money. We may have to pay the plaintiff's attorney's fees, which could go up over what was 80-something thousand now. I think it was what was it? It was like we already were told we had to pay 80-something grand.
Yes. So it could be up to
Yeah, so it could be 100 grand.
100.
So he said, hey, and then Mr. Cray was there, right? So they said, hey, we need your green light to file the petition for review, which will result in their lawyers spending more money, our guys spending more money, and this could cost the county more money. Can we go do this? And we said, yes. That was, I think, the proper process for going forward. For a row officer who wants to pursue either an appeal or file a lawsuit, defend a lawsuit or whatever, because the county taxpayers are on the hook. I think the way I read the court ruling was because of that, the board had to approve that row officer's legal pursuit.
The name that I was trying to think of was Andrew Thomas.
Andrew
That's
Thomas.
who I was saying.
Yeah, Andrew
Yes.
Thomas. There you go.
I
Yeah.
remember.
So, I mean, that's kind of what I just want that something to clarify to us what the rules are there based on the interpretation of that court so that we can clearly and then transmit that to our respective row officers so they're aware as well. So we know what the rules are. Everybody knows what the rules are regarding that rule.
I got another name too.
Yeah.
Sent to you, but I don't think of it. I haven't thought of it.
Ms. Gomez.
Is it possible, because I know I keep on asking you, or we're going to have this work session, that is it possible for you just to make a list of what we've requested, and then across from that, what dates they will be?
The clerk does have that list going. We've got
Okay.
a whole Excel spreadsheet, so I'll be happy to share it with you.
please. Then I won't keep on bringing up the same thing.
Yeah, and we have notes of where we are.
Another thing for the county attorney's office.
I'm running out of paper.
Yeah. Well, I'm fair enough. If we have boards and commissions, what is the rule? So say I have somebody that is serving on a board or commission from my district that I didn't appoint, that was appointed by my predecessor, and I want to replace them with someone. What are the rules for that? Can I just do it? Or do I have
She
to?
doesn't know.
I do not know.
Well, that's why I don't know either. I don't know either.
I don't think you can do it unless they've missed a bunch of meetings.
So we set that policy where you have to be, if you miss 3,
Yeah, I got you,
but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
What I read when I was looking at doing the same thing, they're in there for 2 years unless they miss whatever bylaws that we set up.
Okay.
They're in there for 4 years.
Is it 4
Yeah,
years?
but that wipes out my whole term. That's what I'm getting at. So I get.
Because they
Yeah, it's every 2 years.
they stagger. Okay.
So you will be.
So you will have somebody.
But you might not.
Maybe just like
26.
appointed.
Well, they make it to stabilize. But
We can get you the list.
if they don't show up for
Yeah, well,
meetings,
give me that information so I can, and that. It's gotta be
you got
something.
if somebody on a board, they're a non-participant, then
What, is HR still here? I have a human resources. What
They're
about-
not paid.
What about encouraging people to resign? Am I going to get sued for hostile work environment?
They're not employees.
But I mean, is that, oh, that's true. They're not employees.
Volunteers. They do.
If they were employees, that would be considered constructive discharge,
What does that mean? Constructive, just like, because I forced them to quit?
making their workplace so miserable that they're when they
I'm
want
making
to
it miserable.
What if they no-show? They're an appointee to a board and they no-show.
If I have
Well,
heartburn with somebody,
the individual board should have guidelines that state
Yeah.
if a board member does not show for a certain number of
but
time,
if I'm not happy
that the
with what
board
they're
has
doing
the
and what
ability.
their agenda is not aligned with mine. That's what I'm getting at. I was elected by a constituency to do certain things, and there are people sitting on boards that are being counterproductive, anti-business, let's just say, right? That they're voting against things that's going to bring businesses or growth in, and they're making comments regarding things that,
By the end of your second term, you will have purged.
well, but I can't encourage them to maybe
I would
step down
refer
and go
to-
find another.
I'd refer
Side
to the
hobby.
county attorney as opposed
That's
to.
what I'm getting at. That's why I'm asking. I'm asking
Well,
that
it's
question.
something to set up a work session or a special
Right,
executive
right.
session
What-
or whatever, but this is a poll. This is one that
Yeah, well,
is.
translate it to him. I mean,
I am writing
relate
down.
it. But I mean, I want to know what I can and cannot do and what my limits are.
You
Well,
can't-
don't
you
forget the
can't-
balance.
They've been participating and showing up. You can't.
And the thing is, I had thought we said 2 meetings and it went to 3 because that's, you know,
Three.
3,
I think
It's
it's
3
three.
has been, because I wanted to shorten it because that's like 2-3 months of not having a vote, not having, you know, mine is an open vote. And so, you know, they're crucial votes. It makes a difference when you have, you know, the 9 votes versus like, you know, whatever. It is.
But
Yeah, but it is.
so what I'm getting at is
Reason for
there was clearly an election. Election has consequences. Some of the consequences is the policies and direction of the board may be going now in a different direction. However, the legacy previous board has people in there who are still going the other way. That's my problem. I want to go this way. I think Ms. Gomez, we want to go this way, and we don't want the anti-growth.
We'll get you the bylaws and.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. But I don't want to create a hostile work
You know,
environment.
you know, when people say, well, Annie wish that I didn't have to show up. So,
Well, showing up, yeah, that's.
you know, that's a big deal. So I just wonder how I mean, it should be very specific. Everyone's got to show up. It's 1 meeting a month and they get a stipend for gas. So there's no reason why you can't show up. You have missed 1 or 2. Anyway. All right.
All right, that's all I got. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, next meeting is 3 o'clock in the executive conference room to discuss the jail. Doesn't say specifically what it is. It just says a potential executive session. So that's it. Today at 3. Regarding the, what is it? Oh, the fireman, 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Hope you can.
I'll be here too. All right. We're adjourned.